Hey, sit up a little bit, bro. Yeah. Yeah, Scotty, jeez, you scare me on this. Don't even have to move. All right, go, brother.
Okay. On January 11th, 2011, Austin Booth, a senior basketball player, had played a basketball game, led his team to a victory, went home, wasn't feeling real well, got up the next day, went to school, and went to practice afterwards. After he came back from practice, which his coach sent him home early from, he went to bed because he wasn't feeling well. That night, he woke up coughing up blood. In less than 1 week, he was dead. Totally preventable if he would have gotten the flu vaccination, but he didn't. The purpose of this speech today is to convince everybody to go out and get a flu vaccination. Anybody that's able should get one. It will stop unnecessary deaths in the United States. In 1918, the Spanish flu was a pandemic that swept around the world. According to James Armstrong, a journalist for RN Web, also a registered nurse himself, there were anywhere from 20 to 40 million deaths in the world. It started here in the United States and spread to every state within 1 week. It was amazing. There were 500 to 675,000 Americans that died from that flu outbreak alone. 1 out of every 5 were infected in the U.S. The major people that got it were in the ages of 20 to 39 years of age, which is unusual. Most flus don't affect that group. But these got it. They got cyanosis, which was blue face, from secondary lung pneumonia that they got. The other thing that happened is that their skin would turn blue to purple to black. Some people died within 24 hours of getting it. High fevers of over 104 degrees. Usually what happens, according to the CDC, who also reported that anywhere from 3,000 to 49,000 people in the United States die of the flu annually, it's usually the young that get it, the old, those that have other health risks going on, whether it's heart disease, diabetes, or asthma, such as myself. We're the ones that usually get the worst. Not that good. I know there's a lot of misconceptions about people who should get the flu vaccine. One of them is, well, if I get the vaccine, I'm going to get the flu. Well, that's not true. It's inactive. What that means is that it's dead. There's no possibility of getting the flu from it. So when you get an injection, it's dead already. You're not going to get the flu. Now, of course, according to Peter Economan, who was a pharmacy tech at Costco, where I got mine done, there's some things that you're going to get. Probably a little bit of soreness. You may get some muscle aches. You may get a headache. Maybe a sort of, minor flu-like symptoms. But they're gone within a day or two. No big deal compared to getting the flu. Now, there's also one that has no flu vaccine or virus in the vaccine at all. It's called the recombinant influenza vaccine, according to the Centers for Disease Controls. Nothing in it at all. That's the one that you give people that have an egg allergy also, because there is no albumin in it. There's also a nasal one. Now, that one is designed so that it is effective in cold areas, like your nose, but once you breathe it in, it won't infect your lungs. So you're not going to get a major infection. You'll just get a minor one in the nose at the most. A little bit of a runny nose, some congestion. That's it. No big deal. Maybe a cough. What about if you've already been vaccinated? Some people argue that. Well, here's the thing. According to Armstrong, there are 3 types. There's type A, B, and C of flu virus. C is no big deal. Yeah, you'll get a little bit sick from it. It's A and B that you have to watch out for. They genetically mutate. Now, they have what is called antigenic drift, which means that there's a little bit of a change in antigens on the outside of the shell of the virus. Well, it's kind of like putting on a different coat. If you've been vaccinated, your body's still going to recognize that it's, the flu, and it's the right vaccine for it, but it just might not be as effective. The one that you have to watch out for is the complete antigenic shift, which is what type A does. It's very rare, but they're pretty sure that's what caused the flu outbreak in 1918. And when that happens, it's a pandemic. you can have literally millions of people throughout the world die. Now, what about if you've got those mismatched flu vaccines? Well, the mismatched flu vaccine, sometimes they don't get the formulation exactly right. No big deal, all right? Your body's still going to recognize it. It's still going to be somewhat effective. According to Donald Kaye of Clinical Infectious Diseases, it will still provide up to a 25% effectiveness in children ages 6 months through 23 months. For adults 50 to 60 without high risk, it's a 52% effectiveness. Those with high risk, 38% effectiveness. Now, when it's well matched, you got an effectiveness rate of anywhere from 70 to 90% with getting the flu vaccine. That's quite a bit. Now, some people do have serious reactions to the flu vaccine. It's very rare. And if it happens, you can get help pretty quickly because it usually happens within a matter of minutes. And they have effective treatments, especially if you're there in a clinic getting the shot. Some people think if you're too old, you can't get the flu vaccine. That's not true. Even though as you age, it might decrease a little bit faster, the effectiveness, but that's why they have this one that's called high dose that's designed specifically for people ages 65 and older. How about if it's too late in the season? Well, it's really never too late. As long as the virus is traveling around, the flu is going around. And it can go all the way into May. So I know that they release it early on in the fall. They usually recommend getting the vaccine between September and October. It only takes a couple weeks for it to become effective. So if it's traveling around in your area, get the flu vaccine. The benefits of getting the flu vaccination are prevention from getting the flu, number one. It also protects those around you, especially those that have high risk, such as children. Now, if a woman that's pregnant gets a flu vaccination, she can pass along that effectiveness to her baby. Children under the age of 6 months can't get the vaccination, but if she passes that along, there's up to a 92% effectiveness rate to preventing that child from getting the flu or getting seriously ill from it. It may make it where it's milder if you do get the flu, and it can reduce the risk of more serious flu outcomes. Hospitalizations are reduced according to the CDC, up to 74% for children going into pediatric wards. Lower rates of cardiac events for people that have cardiac problems, especially those that have had it in this last year. 79% reduction in those being hospitalized that have diabetes. 52% reduction for chronic lung disease. And for people 50 plus, there's a 61% reduction in hospitalization over a 3-year period of time. It saves money. If you think about it, lost days at work, that costs a lot of money. It's not that expensive to get the flu vaccine. At Costco, where I went and got mine on November 7th, 1 week ago today, it would have been $14 without my insurance. With insurance, it was free. $14 compared to a lost day at work, that's pretty easy to figure out. Even if you're only making $7.25 an hour, that's what, $60 that you're going to lose compared to $14? I'd rather spend $14. In closing, I once again want to say that everyone needs to get the flu vaccination. And I want to leave you with a couple things. One of the things that I'm going to leave everybody with afterwards is some pamphlets talking about the flu in you, and also one for those of you that are parents so that you can know some information about the benefits of getting it for your children. Maggie Fox reported that Austin's mother, Regina Booth, stated, "If I had have taken him to the doctor sooner, they would have said he has the flu and sent him home." Nothing would have changed. The only thing I look back at now, I wish we would have gotten a flu shot that year. I was one of those people who didn't think they needed it. I was one of those people who thought, if you got the shot, you're going to get the flu. Thank you. Go ahead and pan around.